These might be one of the most surprising shoes to drop from Jordan Brand in a long time. So let's talk about Jordan Brand. It's very clear to see that the popularity of the brand is definitely on the decline, especially over the last year, with even retros of their most popular models like the 1s and the 4s sitting on shelves and even going on sale. We were waiting to see something different from the brand, not just the same old retros, and we finally got something, and I'm very excited to review these. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Jordan 4 RM by Nigel Sylvester. So these dropped in extremely limited quantities. In fact, I cannot remember the last Jordan shoe that was this limited. So Sneakers Europe had just over 1,000 pairs available for the entire continent. And I know a lot of sneaker stores here in Germany, some of those stores got like 3 to 5 pairs. So it was kind of absurd just how limited this was. But I guess that is part of Jordan Brand's strategy. This is a brand new model and the first ever release of this model. And if you look at what these are going for right now on StockX, they are going for a lot. So it does signal to an average consumer that this is a very in-demand product, even though the demand really seems to be coming from artificial scarcity. We've already seen Jordan Brand announce a bunch of new colorways that will be dropping starting this fall, and the retail price on these will be $150. There's some pretty good colorways, can't lie, like that Black Cat version especially for me, including another colorway that looks strangely similar to the Nigel Sylvester pair. So just in case you missed out on these but you do really like this model, there will be lots more colorways dropping very soon. So Nigel Sylvester, who is a BMX legend, he is no stranger to Jordan collabs. His last collab was the Jordan 1, which actually dropped all the way back in 2018. Can you believe 2018 was already 6 years ago? It doesn't feel that long, but yeah, it has been 6 years since we've seen a Nigel and Jordan collab released to the public. There was supposed to be a Nike Airship release that had the Bike Air on the back, but it turned out to be just a friends and family pair. And now Jordan Brand has chosen to launch a brand new model with Nigel, and this pair right here is being referred to as the Grandma's Driveway pair because it does actually take its inspiration from Nigel Sylvester's grandma's house. Let's get into the shoes. Let's start off with the box. You get a very unique box here. It's never really been done before. We have the Nike Air logo here changed to Bike Air, which does look pretty sick, but what actually impresses me more is the rest of the box. It does have this gravel print all over it, and this print is actually taken from Nigel Sylvester's actual grandma's driveway. And what's really cool about it is also the way it feels. There's a bunch of ridges on it, which actually does make you feel like you're touching a driveway or a road. And opening up the box, you have this Go logo, which is also part of Nigel Sylvester's brand. And looking at the shoes, the entire upper of the shoe is done in this dark emerald green color, which is actually inspired by the gates in his grandma's backyard. And as for the model itself, now this is being called the Jordan 4 RM, and the RM apparently stands for Resto Mod, but I've seen some websites call it remastered or remixed. And I've also seen online people who really dislike this model say that the RM stands for really mid, which is pretty funny, I can't lie, but I also think that we should unofficially call this the Jordan 4 Low. Because to me, the shoe is still very much recognizable as a Jordan 4. It has the same sole unit, and you also get that very familiar wavy mudguard, but it is a much lower cut. So just comparing it with a regular Jordan 4, now this is the recently released wet cement pair. Placing these side by side, I would say that the RM version is about 1.5 inches lower. The regular Jordan 4s, you gotta admit, it is a pretty bulky looking shoe. And for that reason, I've just never really felt comfortable wearing the 4s with shorts. But this version right here, the RM, I actually think looks awesome with shorts. It doesn't feel too bulky at all. It actually really does look like some traditional skate shoes. That lower ankle collar, I think, really makes a world of difference. What you'll definitely notice that's different about this pair is the cages and the wings that you normally see on the Jordan 4. Instead, you get this one-piece TPU cage that surrounds the entire back of the sneaker. You still have these little wings here, but it's done in a very different way. I don't know exactly what they call this part of the Jordan 4. It looks like little waffles to me, but that's obviously missing here. And to me, that's actually one of my favorite parts about this shoe. I like that they didn't just give us a squished down version of a Jordan 4. Instead, they've given this shoe some unique elements like this TPU cage, which give the shoe some character and make it its own thing. On the heel, we see something we've never seen before on any Nike sneaker, and that is a Bike Air logo. And big shout out to Nigel Sylvester for actually getting Nike to agree to do this. And underneath this little tiny heel tab, you actually even see a picture of a bike there. And what's really interesting is that this bike picture is what you also see on the boxes of the general release colorways, which sort of makes me wonder why Nike didn't just market this product as a new biking line or like a BMX line. This heel tab to me is low-key kind of funny. It just looks so tiny, especially when comparing it to the normal Jordan 4. There's also quite a lot of padding you see on the heel here, much more than you typically get on a 4, which actually makes the shoe feel quite comfortable. And what you also see is this very tiny Jumpman logo on the back. It says Bike Air by Jordan at the top, which is embroidered, and the tongue does seem to be made out of a mesh material. You have Nigel Sylvester's name on the insole of the shoe. And let's also take a minute to appreciate this outsole. I absolutely love this outsole. The red outsole I think pops so well with the green. And interestingly, there is a Nike logo on the outsole there, because on most Jordans you do actually have the Jordan logo on the outsole. That red hit looks really nice. You also get this mini swoosh right on the mud guard near the front of the shoe, which we can say is pretty much Nigel Sylvester's signature at this point. We've seen it on his previous collabs as well, but you only get the mini swoosh on this collab version because none of the general release versions have that. I have to comment also about the quality of this shoe. So most of the upper is done in this very premium feeling nubuck material, and this is definitely not like the nubuck you normally get on most Jordan GR sneakers. This feels super soft, really can't complain about the materials on this pair. And when it comes to sizing, so I did get this in my true size, which is a US 11, and for me that is the perfect size, especially from a width point of view. I have to say, in terms of comfort, this shoe is just surprisingly super comfortable to me, way more comfy than, for example, the military 4s that dropped a few months ago, and actually I would even say more comfortable than most of the Jordan 4s I've worn before. It feels a bit more cushioned. I really like the padding on the heel as well. One thing though I will say about this Nigel Sylvester pair is that it does feel a bit long, because I do seem to have a bit more room in the toe box than normal. But that being said, from a width perspective, it does fit perfect, so I still think sticking with your true size is your best bet. But that being said, still this is a very comfortable shoe, which is not something you ever hear me saying about Jordan sneakers. These are definitely reselling for a lot, like I said at the top of this video, for nearly 3 times what the retail is. And in my opinion at least, I wouldn't personally pay the resale for these. There's also another colorway that will be dropping on August the 8th, which is a gray colorway, which I actually like even more because of the red swoosh on that one. And also, if you missed out on these Nigel pairs, you can always get the GR versions. Overall, here's my opinion on the Jordan 4 RM by Nigel Sylvester. The shoe to me is a lot better than I expected. To be honest, a low-cut Jordan 4 is low-key something I've always wanted, and I think Jordan Brand did a really good job with these. To me, this seems like even more of a Jordan 4 SB than the actual Jordan 4 SBs, because it certainly gives me a very skateboarding vibe. It even kind of reminds me of those Osiris sneakers. The quality on this pair also I think is great. It's also, for me, more comfy than most other Jordan 4s. So yeah, I have been bashing Jordan Brand a lot over the last year, but I have to give them major props for this pair. Arguably, this might be my favorite Jordan to drop this year. But do let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this pair? What is your opinion on this model? Are you looking forward to some of the general release colorways? Let me know. And of course, if you haven't already done so, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because I'm dropping content just like this every single week. And the best place to reach out to me, of course, is Instagram. I'm dropping daily content on there. The links to my sneaker podcast as well can be found in the description. Thank you guys so much for dropping by and for supporting my content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.